Everyone has a purpose, and when you align your values to what your purpose is, you can find a job that really suits you. You're never going to learn how to run a business by not actually running the business.
Yeah.
Like the stability route. I think every parent wants their kids just to be super stable. They were supportive. It was just like, try your best, like do your best. But it's like, we prefer you be a doctor. Kind of. I'm not the kind of person who like really grips my life by the horns. Like I just sort of go with the flow. My goals for my professional projects were greater than my fear of like what other people might think.
Yes.
What's your best networking advice?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just approach it like friends.
So here we are, guys, in New York City with Jahleane Dolne.
Did you say that right?
So good.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Okay.
Yeah,
She's good.
She's got the bougiest name ever, and we love it. And we were also, we keep singing Jahleane.
Oh,
Jahleane.
you've gotten that probably a million times.
Oh, really?
Have you?
Wait.
Have you?
Oh, I thought you said you've said that a million.
We
times.
have said that too.
But we keep
Honestly,
singing
yeah.
it.
It's like it's funny because like the difference is it's like Jolene, but it's like every time
Yeah,
by
it's like-
association, I hear it probably. I don't know. Every time I meet someone new,
Yeah.
probably.
Listen, we thought we were the only ones.
We
but-
have not stopped
Actually,
singing.
I was like, we probably shouldn't say that because she's heard it so many times. Like, Elle and I get that
I
with
thought I
the
was being
twin thing.
original.
Like, people always say stuff about like the twin stuff, and then it's like, they're like, have you heard that before? And I'm like, yeah, only about like 600 times, you know?
Oh my
like,
god,
you know?
Yeah, no, I totally get it, and it's like it's so funny because you just hear it so often. And time it's like whatever, you just
Everyone
shake it
else-
off, you know?
Everyone thinks they're being original, but everyone's
Yeah.
Exactly.
One time I was like, wow, so original.
No, I literally had debates and I was like, she probably gets that all the time.
You know what? I didn't even think about that.
Really?
Yeah.
We were talking about it while you were doing
You know
your
why?
hair.
Because I did it to someone named Mariah once, and I was like, Mariah Carey, and then I was like, she gets that all
She
the time.
literally
Yeah.
said,
She was
I
like,
get
it's not
that all
funny,
the
you know?
time.
Like, she goes all the time. Anyway, we're going to introduce ourselves. So welcome to the Something Playbook. I'm Elle.
Ava.
And I'm Madison, and this is the 2020 Playbook. We just said that.
Welcome.
Okay, so Jalene's got some really cool stuff she's up to. She is the founder of the Postgrad Playbook. And for our audience, Jahleane, can you tell them a bit about what that is and how you got it started?
Yeah, so the Postgrad Playbook is an online media and education platform for postgrads and early 20-somethings to figure out their passion, release some mindset blocks to getting there, and take real action. Started and launched in 2023. And right now it's just a full media business. So we partner with brands and share products and education to help people get to the next level of their careers.
Amazing.
Slay! I love it.
Mic drop.
And Jahleane was recently in LA for Thunderbolt's premiere, which is so cool.
Yeah.
And that's a part of what you're doing with the Postgrad Playbook, right?
Yeah, honestly, it was like my first brand trip. So it was like with one of my partners, LinkedIn was kind enough to invite me to go. And so there was just a really good crossover. If you're wondering like what the crossover was.
Let's hear it.
So it's basically like, you know, everyone has a purpose, and when you align your values to what your purpose is, you can find a job that really suits you. Similar to the characters in the movie, like they found their purpose when they stopped doing what wasn't meant for them. So for example, the limo driver, I forget what his name is, but when he stopped driving limos and joined the team, he was able to help save the day, you know? And Jahleane,
Wait,
the main
that is
character.
such a fun crossover.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, it was such a fun crossover, such a fun event. Who would have thought, you know?
Yeah, I know, literally.
I just feel like sometimes when you take your career by storm and you like take it by the horns, you never know what kind of opportunities show up. So that was one really fun one.
I love
We were
it.
talking a bit about this before we started the cameras and everything. But what did you do before you started the Postgrad Playbook?
Yeah, I worked in sales.
Okay.
So it was that's what I did after college up until full-time entrepreneurship. I sort of fell into sales. Like I have a biology degree.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't use it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you obviously went to school for business.
Yeah, no, I have a biology degree. And so, you know, my parents were very much so like doctor, lawyer, engineer. Like those are the careers you should fall into. Like two of my siblings are my sister's gonna be an oral surgeon. My brother's gonna be a doctor. My dad has a PhD in like engineering, things like that. So it's like very STEM focused. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a doctor when I am in school, and then I interned at a hospital, and we did postmortem care, and I'm like, I'm okay.
my
I'm cool off this.
goodness.
Like, I don't think I want to do
Like,
this.
no.
Exactly. And I just always imagined my career differently. So
Yeah.
I did a management training program, and segued into business after looking at my skills and things that I leaned into my strengths a lot more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I loved speaking with people, working as a team, things like that.
Yeah.
So that translated to a career in business.
Very cool.
Were your parents supportive of that shift?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Honestly, my parents were very much so like the stability route. I think every parent wants their kids just to be super stable. And,
Yeah.
you know, those traditional careers, you find stability in them.
Yeah.
And I feel like even less so in corporate jobs, because corporate jobs, you can always be
Yeah.
laid off the next day. You really don't know.
It's true.
And so they were supportive. It was just like, try your best, like do your best.
Yeah.
But it's like, we would prefer you be a doctor kind of thing. like it's
It's more
better-
stable.
Exactly. My dad also on the other side, my dad's always like, well, when are you going to go work on Wall Street? You're in New York. I'm like, well, I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what did that transition look like from sales to the Postgrad Playbook? Like,
Yeah.
was that scary
Yeah, to
going from like
entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
that transition like?
Yeah, it was like jumping off the deep end,
Yeah.
honestly, and not by my own volition. So basically in March 2023, my whole team and a couple other teams at the organization we were at, we all got laid off like randomly. And so I had been a content creator since 2020, sharing personal development and career development content. And so I was like, you know what? I'm burnt out from sales. I've been closing the deals, and I did really, really well in my corporate job.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not to toot my own horn or anything
No,
like that,
no,
but
for sure.
yeah, I was just saying like,
You're
You're allowed to do that.
Okay, go for it.
yeah, but I'm saying it in the sense of, I was like, okay, I already accomplished this much in a corporate space. What can I accomplish on my own? So I was like, you know what? Let me take a little bit of a break. I'm burnt out. Let me pour my passions, like my energy into my passions and see what can come of it. And so now it's been a little over 2 years.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Killing it.
Yeah. And what was that transition like? Because you moved to New York City, right? You're not
Yeah.
a native here. So was that after the sales job ended?
No, so it's actually really funny because I'm New York born, California raised.
Cool.
And so it's like I'm
Oh.
coming back to New York. I have some family here. So basically I my second job out of college was completely remote, and I started it when the pandemic was coming near an end-ish.
Oh,
okay. Right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah.
Or I started late 2020 and then I moved to New York 2021
Yeah.
and I didn't know anybody. And I was like, you know what? I know that New York is really good for your career and for what I wanted to build, which was, I knew somewhere in my spirit was going to be something that would require me to hustle and probably wouldn't be found in a corporate structure. So I just moved and thankfully that job provided me with the stability and the foundation to move. And then I got laid off. So then I'm like, well, I'm here.
You're like, well, everybody's gonna live it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Do
Did
my
you
own
ever
thing.
think about moving back home when you got laid off? Like, what was that like? Because I'm sure that was like a major shit hit the fan moment of like
Maddie's
panic mode.
favorite
Like that
phrase.
was. I'm just saying, if that was me,
She loves a good shit hit the
if
fan.
that was me, I'd be panicking.
No, honestly, I feel like I never thought about moving back home. I love New York City. And also my parents had moved to the South.
Okay.
So it's like, it wasn't even, I did have when I was in the South and I was thinking about moving to New York or going back to California, like my communities in California, a lot of my best friends, I knew I just wanted something new more and I felt a pull towards New York. And secondly, when I got laid off, I was like, well, honestly, I was really burnt out.
So it felt
I-
right.
Huh?
Did it feel right then? Like
It
you're
felt
like,
right. I was like, oh, okay, like looks like I'm doing my own thing. Like I honestly, I'm not the kind of person who like really grips my life by the horns. Like I just sort of go with the flow. And so I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing now. So
That's a really good attitude.
That's a very
Yeah.
cool girl approach.
thank you.
Yeah. Maddie wishes she was like that.
Yeah, I wish I was like that. Great.
Yeah, no, I also had been preparing for eventually because I knew I always knew
Yeah.
I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I was mentally preparing for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So when it happened that way, I was like, okay, well,
You're
I
like,
guess
this is
my
like, I
chance.
guess this is time.
Yeah. This is my chance. But, you know, corporate environment was a great learning experience. Entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
you learn a lot about yourself,
yeah.
you know, and I feel like everyone stumbles into it in their own way.
Yeah, that's true.
100%.
Yeah.
What would be your advice for post grads who have just graduated?
Yeah,
I
like
feel
say they're like fresh out of university or college and they're like, what do I do? Like, how do I get on a path that's like purpose driven?
Yeah. I think it's all about first understanding what your values are and not understanding first, like, what kind of job you want, understand who you want to be and what you want your lifestyle to look like, and then work
Yes.
around that. So, for example, like I didn't always think like, yeah, I'm going to end up in sales, but I did know I want to communicate with people. I want to have a changing environment. I want to be challenged. And I want to make a lot of money, like right out of school. And so it provided all of those things.
Yeah.
So you can start working with your values and then reverse engineer that.
I love
Very
that.
nice.
And we talk about there's this like buzzword. I think you've mentioned in your podcast about a career portfolio instead of like a resume. Can you share a bit about that? Because everything's constantly changing in our day and age.
Yeah, exactly. So I think what I mean by like a career portfolio is that you might not get all of your experiences from one job. You might get a lot from, the projects you build out yourself or, the speaking engagements that you might have. Like my career portfolio, a lot of the skills I got were not necessarily in my sales job. Like I got marketing experience from content creation, from starting a blog in my 20s, learning SEO that way and pulling that. You have a wealth of experiences and you can pull from a lot of different areas instead of the traditional background.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And for your 20s, we always ask our guests this question. What are 3 words to describe your 20s?
Oh my gosh. I was thinking about this on the train here and I was like, what?
3 words.
Can I do 4?
Of course.
Wait, no. I mean, I have 3. I have things like trying my best.
Trying my best.
Trying my best.
Good. Those
Every
are the
single
best
day.
3 words.
I just try my best. And it's been working. So yeah. And I also do mean that in the sense that, when you give your all to opportunities, even if it might be unpaid or give your all to like friendships and things like that, like things end up working out, just don't half-ass it kind of thing. So I don't know. I just try my best and hopefully things play out,
you know what? I say that I love that, the not half-assing anything, because I feel like even we did a part-time job recently that was like serving and ended up leading to other opportunities, because I feel like if you work hard in anything, you're going to make a good impression. You never know who's watching, who's looking on, and who you can meet through that. This is a little bit of like an off-script question, but what advice would you give to someone who's straight out of school and they want to do something that has nothing to do with their degree? Because I know for you, like you studied biology.
And there's a statistic that I heard from your podcast about 70%, I think.
It's about 50. But I think 70 is closer to another statistic. I just can't remember which one. Off the top of my head. But yeah, 50% of people are pursuing degrees or pursuing careers in a space outside of their major or their field of study. So you're in good company. It's totally fine. Honestly, I think the best things that you can do is first like network really well within that new industry so that you have people you can ask questions to. You have people who can potentially give you opportunities, things like that. Network really well. And also it's really scary to go back on a path that you had previously chosen to yourself because it's almost like you're killing or you're grieving a path that you didn't take. Did you guys ever see Past Lives? That movie?
No.
Okay. It's a love story, but it's basically like this girl she's from Korea and she moves and there's like a guy she would have been with if she had stayed there when she was younger. And he visits her like I think 20 years later total, something like that. And so like it's she's married now, but it's like the process of them grieving a life that they could have had together.
Have you seen
That sounds heartbreaking.
No, I haven't, but it's like I know I need to see it. Like I know I need to see it.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like we were all sobbing at
I
the
went into
end.
an existential crisis after
Maddie
a while.
actually, like she watched it.
It
As
took
a
me
teenager.
a week to recover.
She came home. She watched it. Like,
Sounds like
with
she
a
should
friend.
watch Past Lives.
It's really good. It was up for Oscar.
I definitely
Did it just
heard
come
of it.
out?
No.
Like 2023.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm late.
Yeah.
I need to watch. Yeah, I need to watch La La Land.
Yeah, you need
It's
to.
so good.
What's your best networking advice?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just approach it like friends.
Okay.
Like
okay.
this is my first time meeting you guys, but I feel like we're friends.
Yeah,
we're friends.
We are.
We're friends.
I actually said that even like we had like one phone call with you, and I was like, okay, she's cool.
Yeah. We're friends.
Exactly.
We're
Exactly, because one thing I learned from my sales job is that people just want to do business with other people and people they know, like, and trust, and they want to feel seen. And those are all the things that you do in a friendship. Obviously, be professional. With it, but it's like I think that a lot of times people approach networking in such a transactional way that it gets so icky.
It's true.
Like you're only gonna hit me up when you need something.
No, thank you.
Actually, we do screenwriting together, the three of us. So we've done a lot of networking in that area as well, and it's almost like we don't even network for necessarily like, oh, I need this from you. We always go into it with advice. Like, what is advice you can give me? And people are very generous with their time. Yeah. And we learned so like everything we know about the industry is from those calls. And like not necessarily like, oh, this person's going to give you money or something, but we learned things, and that's like the things that we gained from that call.
Yeah.
And then you're networking.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So lead with friendliness.
Yeah. Just be friendliness, not like trying to get
Anything.
like icky or like
Different
like-
energy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like networking can get a bad rap because of people who treat it like
Well, even
that.
when you go to networking
when really you
events.
just want to connect with people on
Exactly.
on a
Human
real
level.
Yeah. Networking events too, I feel like I've been to a couple and it's like chaos. Like it's just like so transactional and fast. That's probably where people get intimidated.
Yeah, but I feel like there's probably some networking
but like
events
we've all met and it's like through the internet.
Yeah.
Like, what other like advice would you have? Like we've done a lot of networking through LinkedIn. Do you have any other like tips and tricks for networking, or is it mostly LinkedIn?
Yeah, I think if you can go to an event alone, go alone.
Yeah.
So when I moved to New York, also, I didn't know anybody. So I would just go to things alone and have the mentality of I'll just make friends there.
Yeah.
And I did.
Done.
Just make friends there. And I'm like, okay, people are cool. Like, I don't think anyone will say no to connection.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
But also I am an extreme extrovert. So it's like, I think that if
You're like,
you're,
what? Like it's hard? Like,
I think that some it can be difficult putting yourself out there, but I think that sometimes we can get too in our heads about what other people might be thinking or our own projections of what they might be thinking. And I don't think that's most of the time is the case. Like,
I agree.
Such good advice. It's true.
I want to
It's very
know
true.
what impact friendship has had on your 20s.
yeah, my friends are everything to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friends are everything to me. Like, I have long distance friends. I have close friends I've made here. A lot of my friends I've had now for over 10 years. And yeah, like I cherish my friendships so much, and they know how much they mean to me. So it's like,
Like I tell them.
like, girl, do you still love me?
I do it all the time. My friend's sitting over there. I do that with too.
Yeah, no, my friends are great. And like they're, I feel like as you go through your 20s, you do go through some friendship breakups, and that's really difficult, but it also makes you hold tight the people who are really close to you and good for you. And I also have a philosophy that it's like, if I've been your friend over 10 years, like you're not getting away from me so easily.
Yes.
You know, I think one thing that brings a lot of friendships down is that people aren't honest with their communication. And it's like, if you're if not annoying me, but it's like, if you did something that hurt my feelings, I'm going to tell you. And like, you better tell me too. It's an open door policy. It's like an open conversation policy. So
That's so good to say, because I think that can happen a lot. Like that's happened to me in the past with past friends where, you know, a friend would get upset about something but wouldn't communicate it, and then I could tell that they were upset, and I just felt like saying like, why didn't you tell me? Like, just if you don't like this thing, like just tell me.
Exactly.
Because then that builds resentment.
Exactly. Yes, it festers, and it's going to like the next time they do something, it's going to be like, oh well, you did this last time. You know. And it's like, I saw a TikTok the other day where it was like, if someone's bringing something up to you as a friend that bothered them, that means they care about you and love you, and they're like fighting for the friendship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my friends do say I'm confrontational. But it's like, it's not. No, it's
join the
always
club.
with
I'm
love.
the same.
But you know what it is?
Confrontation with love.
It's short. It's short-term pain for long-term peace.
Exactly. It's like, damn it, I care about you.
Yeah, I'm also going to say that, no, I get like that too, because I had a friend that I had to break up with because it was like, I was being honest, and it's almost like they were being honest, but like they didn't want to work it out. So it was like, I can't, like, I don't have the energy to keep
It
going.
definitely has to be a two-way.
Yeah, like,
mutual.
if I'm going to be honest with you, you have to be honest back, and then like we have to find a way to work it out, or else it's like it's a dying friendship.
Exactly.
I think also too, sometimes you're friends with people because you've just known each other for a really long time, but then you kind of drift sometimes.
Yeah.
And it changes.
Yeah, no, I definitely have friends from my past. So my 10-year high school reunion is coming up.
Scary. Girl, that is
Spooky in here. No, so it's like my 10-year high school reunion is coming up, and I think about some of the people I used to be really, really close with. And, you know, my life has taken me certain places. Their life has taken them certain places. I moved multiple states. I live in New York now.
Yeah.
They never left our hometown. So it's like circumstances and things change. Doesn't mean I love them any less, but it's like, you drift apart.
Yeah.
And also one thing I will say about the friendship conversation that we were just having is that sometimes it's like really nice when your friends are honest with you back too, because you can't be perfect 100% of the time. Like sometimes you are the problem. Like
None of us are perfect.
Exactly. I feel like there's a lot of therapy speak coming around. Like,
Yeah.
around like you're overstepping my boundary kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, sometimes that happens, but sometimes like you need to be for real. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes it is you.
Yeah.
So your friends that will call you out. So.
Yeah.
That's a good
Recognize
friend.
if
Yeah.
you're the problem.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Because we're all guilty sometimes.
100%.
We can all be guilty.
Yeah. What if you're comfortable talking about this, we can take it if you're not. But like mental health, like talking about therapy speak, like what role has mental health played in your 20s? Like how has that gone for you? Because I feel like there's a lot of 20 somethings who are struggling.
Yeah, no, I think mental health is super important. And I think that, as someone who, has been through major career transitions, moved cities by myself. I've also am building my own business. Like those are mentally trying things.
Totally. Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this goes back to like my friendships and also my family. I have a really strong support system, which I'm grateful for. And so I think when it comes to having a solid mental health, that's important. But then also I have my own practices. Like I walk every single day. And there was a while where I wasn't doing that. And then I started walking like 10,000 steps a day. And my brain and my mental is just so good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to run it out,
Yeah.
You gotta walk
Yeah.
it out. You sweat it out.
Seriously.
Yeah. And then also I love to write and just journal freehand,
Yeah.
just journaling. And then I love EFT tapping. So
Nice.
Oh.
Is that like where you tap at certain points? Oh,
yeah.
that's
And
nice.
Maddie was trying to do that.
Yeah, I do it a little bit. Yeah. I
Did
don't
you
know.
do-
Okay, I want to hear more about EFT tapping because I don't know if I'm doing it right.
yeah, no. So basically, anyone who's listening who hasn't heard of it before, it's a mix of American psychology and Chinese acupressure. So basically, what you do is you tap on certain meridian points of all over your body to like relieve this is going to sound a little woo, but like energetic blockages or just the tension that's up in your body, right?
Yeah.
So I know that it's still being proven, but it worked for me. It definitely worked for me. There have been professionals who've helped people use it for anxiety, people with PTSD who come back from war, people with eating disorders, things like that. So I love using tapping if I feel stressed out or if I have a big meeting or something and I need to chill out a little bit. I just like do a little bit on the hand and it immediately calms me down. So that's what it is. And also there are a bunch of free videos on YouTube.
I was just going to say, where'd you learn it?
Yeah, social media and a bunch of free videos on YouTube. I think that within the Postgrad Playbook, I talk about like it's a 3-pronged thing. So figuring out your passion, releasing the mindset blocks, getting there, and taking action. I find that when we have mindset blocks for something, it manifests in our bodies, and so tapping and just like calming your body down so that you aren't having like a fight or flight response whenever it comes time to post on social media, send a pitch email, do these things that will help you get closer to your goal. You know,
It's true. Those can be very anxiety provoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say the biggest blocks are for 20 somethings to living like their purposeful career, like what you're trying to achieve?
Yeah. I think that it definitely varies person by person, but I think one thing I hear a lot is like, oh, well, what will other people think about me? You know, like it's because sometimes the purposeful career isn't the most sexy career. It's not like the Dr. Lauren engineer kind of thing, or it's not like the one that will give you immediate recognition.
It's true. Delayed gratification.
Exactly. 100% delayed gratification until you get to the point where you're successful and everyone's like, oh my God, it's like amazing. You know? Exactly. So it's like, what will other people think about me in the sense of this is different from what society has taught me. This is different from what my parents have taught me. This is different from what my friends are doing. And this is me deviating from my norm. I think that's one thing that's the most challenging. And that's also where EFT comes in because you're like, okay, let me relieve some of this anxiety, that's coming with this. So yeah, I think that would be like the biggest thing. I think I was reading, it was either a study by Stanford Education or Harvard Education, but basically they were saying that too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I believe in the tapping. It's almost like you want to go to the chiropractor and they have like points. They're like, oh, I have a headache, and they'll like press on your arm.
Exactly.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like it connects
Your arm
to your
Exactly.
No, but you know what I mean. Like they press something that you're like, how does that connect? But they're
Exactly.
like, everything's connected, and like and you're like, what?
Just use EFT to get through your 20s. That's basically.
No, I'm actually gonna
Yeah.
research that. We have a friend that she's she's a boss, you know, like she's her own CEO of her own company, and she does like meditations before meetings just so she's like in a clear headspace and she's not like, you know, thinking about herself or like, you know, all this kinds of stuff. I love that.
Yeah. No, I've done like the same thing, like visualizing how things are supposed to go, because your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between real and imagined experiences. And so it's like just imagining how things are going to go. Also, what you were saying about how does this connect if I'm like touching my arm and it's connected to whatever. But sometimes it's like if you're thinking about a fear or it's like, what will other people think about me? You might feel it in like your throat. You might feel it in your stomach, like something specific, and just focus on that and tap, and you'll find that that is alleviated over tapping rounds.
Love it. As an anxious person, I'm going to need to try that. Try it.
Did you ever struggle with like what people thought of you? Like, was that a block for you?
Yeah, in my early 20s, but like now I do.
Now I do like whatever. I feel like people always say with age, it's like it just kind of leaves you.
How did you get there?
I honestly, like, not to be like a promo person for tapping, but literally tapping.
No, that's fine.
No, just like tapping. It worked for you. Like that's what's true to you.
Yeah,
and how
no,
that's,
that's
you know,
good.
like
Exactly. Yeah, tapping, but also I felt like my goals for my professional projects were greater than my fear of like what other people might think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think one thing that fueled me was potential regret if I get to the end of my life and I'm like, I never did this.
That's what motivates me.
That's
too.
what motivates me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
So you're running away from something and like running towards something.
She's
at the
running
same
away
time.
from regret.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's
She's
like
sprinting away.
Yeah,
from
she's
it.
sprinting away from that.
I'm preventing. I'm doing preventing regret because I'm like, okay, if I get to the end of my life, how do I want to feel?
Yeah.
But also, like, if I don't know, if anyone has a project that they feel really passionate about, they'll get this. If I'm not working towards it, I literally become depressed.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
We
same.
totally got that.
Stop.
We've been
No,
working.
I thought that was-
I thought that was like unhealthy though.
No, it's not.
Like I literally thought I had a
It
problem.
means you have a passion.
You just need to
Yeah,
start
that's true.
tapping
and it
now.
means you have a purpose. Yeah, you start tapping.
Yeah,
But like,
literally.
no, we totally get that.
after this.
We do screenwriting together. So we have like a show idea that we've been working on since we were like literally 13 and 16. And it's for some reason has just driven our lives. Like it's just like since that point, it's like if we're not doing it, it's like we feel like we're lost. Like I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And like I need to be on this path.
Yeah.
exactly. No,
It is
exactly
depressing.
why.
Not working on it is depressing. Like I'm
Yes.
not doing what I love. Like I know what I love.
And
but
it's
I'm not
all
doing
up
it.
to you to make it happen.
Yeah.
100%. Like Robin Sharma has this quote, like potential unexpressed turns to pain. And I'm like, yeah, that's that pain.
We feel that.
Because it's like if I take a couple days, I'm like, no, I have to get back. So when I was working my corporate job, every weekend I was still like on YouTube learning about digital marketing. And sometimes this kind of drive that you guys have and probably a lot of people who listen to this and what I felt like that can't be taught. And it's something that's innate in you. Also, like I was hearing something that Michael Jackson, like you get ideas for things and you want to
Pursue.
pursue them. Yeah, bring them out. So Michael Jackson said like he would get these ideas and if he waited too long, he was afraid God would give them to Prince. So it's like he would like rush to the studio. I've heard this. So it's like
Stop.
exactly. So it's like if you have an idea,
my goodness.
you have to go and like immediately act on it.
Yes.
Or it's gonna go to someone. You'll see someone else do something similar, but not the way you would do it.
Literally,
Well, we
hashtag worst fear.
We have like 5 different group chats, and it's funny. That's what we do. Like, if we have an idea, we'll be like, text in the group chat.
We have
claim it as
17
ours.
Yeah.
different
It's our idea.
group chats. We have a group chat problem because we do everything together. So we're like, this is for this.
Yeah,
this
we're like
is for this.
podcast, screenwriting.
Yes.
Other screenwriting thing. This thing. Like literally everything.
Okay, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love the different group chats too. Very
No,
organized.
yeah, we did that recently. We're like, we need more than one group chat. We have like sister vibes. We got like a lot going on in one place.
Do you have any advice for someone who maybe doesn't feel like they have a purpose yet? Like they're trying to find it, but they don't like, all of us, I feel like kind of had something we were moving towards. Do you have advice for someone who might not feel that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say just follow your joy. So just the things that make you happy. Also, with a sense of purpose, like sometimes it doesn't have to be professional. Sometimes it can be like really great relationships with your family, or doing service to your community.
Yeah.
Like I think for me and also for you guys, it fell into the professional boat, but I don't think that it's always that way.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm being reminded of this, but did you guys watch the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders on Netflix that just
I
rebooted.
saw the promo, but I haven't seen it yet.
No, but I have seen the promo.
Okay, this is like what it's reminding me of. Well, there's this cheerleader and her boyfriend, or now fiance, like moved out and just followed her so she can chase her dreams. And he was like, I didn't have any dreams of my own, but I knew she had dreams, and my dream was pursuing this woman, kind of thing. Like, it was like the sweetest thing. So it's
That's
like
really sweet.
Yeah,
That's so
exactly.
sweet.
So it's like your passions don't always have to be professional.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mine ended up being that way.
Yeah.
But follow your joy, follow what you love, and also just look at the things you enjoyed as a kid. Because over time, a lot of times our values don't really change that much.
Yeah.
I know from 15 onward, your values don't change.
Wow.
But
Interesting.
I believe that.
That's early.
I've always said, have I not always said, I feel like I hit 15 and then I just like stopped changing, or not like stopped changing, but like I feel like I kind of like knew what I wanted at 15.
Wow.
Yeah. Who you are at your core, like, and your core morals, your core values, unless you have like a major life-changing event, like a death or like something like that, they don't really change.
Yeah.
Wow.
But when you're a kid, that's the most authentic expression of yourself.
Yeah.
So usually from then on, like, you can look for clues.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Life,
That's like
you
a
know?
term I heard called circumambulation. I think
Oh,
I'm saying
cool.
that right.
Okay,
Wow. It reminds me of like
Okay, word.
it's basically like where you come back to the things that you were passionate about as a child. Like,
Yeah.
say at 5 you love this particular thing, and then from 5 to 15 you try something new, but then when you come back to 15 you like get back there again. It's like
Yeah.
always you're always coming back.
You know
like, in a
what
circle.
is funny is we always wanted to work together, and we have our like name is MAE, which is May, so like May McGregor. And we always, when we were kids, would be like, oh, we're gonna have a May thing together. But Ava and I, when we were younger, like we were like 4, wanted to be veterinarians, and then Maddie, I think, wanted to be like a fashion designer or something.
Yeah.
So we were like, maybe we can have a building where we have a vet clinic and a fashion clinic, and we'll name the building May. But it was like, it made no sense. Made no sense.
Yeah.
But we always knew we wanted to do something together.
Yeah.
And we figured that out now. But at the time, we were like, what can we do that
Yeah.
includes May?
I've noticed that in my own life too, like coming back to things I was passionate about as like a 5-year-old.
Yeah. And I feel like that's also like what your 20s are about. It's just coming home to yourself. Like,
Yes.
your early 20s, you sort of try to fit in with everyone else. And as you get older, you're like, okay, I don't have time for this.
Ain't nobody got time.
Yeah. You settle back into who you really are.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love how the 20s, like what you said, the 20s are about coming back to yourself.
Yeah.
What for you do you think, like, other than everything we've talked about, like, when in your earlier 20s, what was not really you, and what do you feel like in your later 20s now is like, yes, I'm back to me?
I honestly think my corporate job wasn't me. As bad as it sounds, like I just felt like I realized that sometimes when you do well academically and professionally, those accolades become really important to you, but they aren't true to you. They aren't super authentic.
Yeah.
And so building something of my own is just me moving towards the most authentic version of myself kind of thing. So I just felt like that really wasn't me, or at least who I was in that environment wasn't me. 'Cause I'm sure I can go back to an environment, which I'm never opposed to, but it's like, I can go back to that environment and not be so obsessed with the success kind of thing or validation in that way. But now I'm not needing of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your vision for Postgrad Playbook? Like, because you're building it.
Yeah.
You're in the process of it. So where, every day when you wake up, I know you're moving away from regret, but what are you moving towards? Like, what is the big picture vision?
Yeah. It's so funny because also with like the moving from regret thing, I feel like I've already like, even if I were to end it right now, I'd be like, okay, at least I did a lot.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
So, but I do think that, for the Postgrad Playbook, I'm just really excited for it to grow as like a whole real media company and be like a one-stop shop for everything, figuring out your passion, releasing the mindset blocks, getting there and taking action. I'm really excited because I'm bringing on some interns now. So
you're growing.
Yeah, growing.
That is so
growing.
exciting.
Between interns and like also meaningful partnerships that could help people, I'm really excited for that. And I'm just excited for the mission to grow. And like I'm excited for massive growth. I think
love
that's
it.
the
Love
biggest
it.
thing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Love it.
And what advice would you give to someone who wants to do exactly what you're doing?
Oh my God, just dive in. Dive in. Like just literally just start. I think that's a lot of people say that for advice. And they're like, oh, just like jump into it first. But truly, you're never going to learn how to run a business by not actually running the business.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you're never going to learn how to do it by just only watching YouTube videos. While that helps, there comes a point where you have to do trial and error to get somewhere, to get a follower,
100%.
to, get a partnership, to make some money, kind of thing. So just dive in, figure out what works, what doesn't work, what you like doing, what you don't like doing. And
and there's probably going to be failure part of that as well.
I also think a lot
Every
of
day.
people are like,
every day's
every
failure.
day.
We got that too.
what did I fill out today?
We joke about, we're like, no guys, what do we fill out today?
Yeah,
Everything.
They actually talked about that with Sarah Blakely, which we've talked about on our podcast before. But I remember she said growing up, her dad would ask her, "What did you fill out today?" And like just trying to normalize it, which I think is really healthy.
Yeah.
Well, because it's part of the learning.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And I also think people don't realize that you can never foresee the roadblocks you're going to have. So you just have to start.
Yeah.
And then you have to have the confidence in yourself. Or even if you don't have the confidence, fake it until you get to those roadblocks. And then you make the decision you need to make to get past them.
Yeah, you can get
yeah.
past them for sure.
Yes, definitely. And honestly, the biggest thing that you can do is just outlast everybody else. Like podcasts, most podcasts quit before they even start. And then I think 70% of them don't get past episode 3, and I think 90% don't get past episode 21 or something like that. So it's like, get to 22 or no, 99%.
Y'all keep going.
Right, get to get to 22 podcasts, and you're already in like the top 1%. Like,
wow,
That's crazy.
yeah. So literally just outlast everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gary Vee talks about this a lot
Yeah.
too.
Gary Vee's so good for 20s.
I also
He's a
remember-
big guest goal.
I remember too, there was this TED talk that a teacher of mine talked about in high school, I think. And it was this key to success is grit. Like, just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it. That's
love
kind of
that.
it. Like, it's like, you can hit roadblocks, you can have failures, but if you stop, you're never going to get there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm really happy you brought that up, because that popped up on one of my, maybe YouTube or whatever, but it popped up and I've been meaning to go back and watch it.
You should.
But then Mel Robbins, you know how she's been doing the whole let them theory thing. She was doing it in her podcast, and she was like, there's no way I can put in this much work and not get anywhere. So it's like, if I just keep putting one foot in front of the other, I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
So
as like new screenwriters, like the entertainment industry is really difficult to get into when you don't have someone who can just open the door for you.
Rules.
Yeah, there's a lot going on
Like
there.
we just emailed literary managers who help package your project to get it made, and luckily I stumbled upon this girl I follow on LinkedIn, and she had like a 30-page PDF. I'm like, this is what you do to email a literary manager.
Oh,
It's
perfect.
Very
subject,
specific.
opening this,
But you
paragraph,
don't
make sure you do
realize
this and that. Like
there's
you don't know.
unspoken rules within each industry. So it's hard to learn them when you're not in them.
yeah.
Yet they all follow them, and if you don't follow them, they don't take you seriously.
Yeah.
So thankfully, there's a lot of, you got the internet, you have LinkedIn, and you can just research what the standard is for these people.
We always say that with our screenwriting, because we're like, whenever we get discouraged and it's like, okay, like we've been working on this for 5 years now on specifically screenwriting, like writing a pilot and wanting to get it sold, and we're like, if you keep going and you outlast everyone, how could it not happen?
Exactly.
Such good advice.
And it's like, so I love that you said that. Just outlast everyone and you'll get through, because that gets us through some hard days. You're like, just keep going and you'll outlast everyone, and then eventually you will be successful.
Yeah. Well, also it's like, with the way that social media is now, and like you guys are constantly putting yourself out there, even just like talking about your screenwriting here, like you never know who will listen, and like be like, oh, actually, like, let me take a look, or you know, like, even, I don't know, document your journey on TikTok, and then, like,
we joke about that, and we're like, we want to. A lot of it is sitting at a table and just writing.
Well, that's actually part of why we want to start the podcast, is because it's just a way to get ourselves out there too. Yeah. Because like, again, networking, right? Like, we get to meet amazing people like you, learn things, and I just feel like there's no downside to putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's scary.
It's scary.
It can be a little scary.
That's a downside.
There can be some trolls on the internet.
The downside is it's terrifying. But actually, we were joking on YouTube Shorts. We get really weird comments.
Yes.
Have you ever gotten that?
Like, what's happened to like a day in my life working in tech sales at a conference, and people are like, look, she didn't do any work. I'm at a conference. Like, what? I'm with my company. They flew me out.
We posted a picture of our dog. We have an adorable silver lab Maverick. He's 2 years old now. We posted a picture of him. We did one podcast at home, like we hosted someone, and we took a picture of him next to the cameras, and somebody commented gross.
What?
And I was like, that's my dog.
I was like, that's my.
What is gross
I was like,
about
that's my
him?
son. You cannot say that about my son.
He's beautiful.
You're gonna tell me my baby's ugly?
Yeah.
What?
That's like
yourself.
That's like saying of an ugly baby. Like,
Yeah, literally.
I birthed him
I just
myself.
comment back like, "What's your address?
I'm
I'm
outside.
coming." Yeah, seriously. So
Let's meet in the parking
It's
lot.
funny and come outside.
Yeah, seriously. Outside right now.
Hilarious. Give me your mailing address.
Yes, that's the only downside to putting yourself out there, but
Yeah.
all the other pros are pros.
Yeah, but these keyboard warriors would never have the courage.
No.
Like
It's
literally.
always no profile picture.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Exactly.
User 1 2 3 4
some
5.
mumble jumbo
Yeah.
username.
Like I think about when we think about, okay, so many people are afraid of what other people might think about them. These are also the people who would never have the courage.
Yes.
It's so
like,
true.
okay, you want me to take advice? Like
Yeah.
like I'm here, I'm putting myself out here in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
I'm doing something that's
Yeah.
important for me. And the people who are doing better than you will not
Yeah.
criticize you for it.
I have a thing
Yeah.
too where this is something that I kind of live by is if you don't respect them, why do you care about their opinion?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I'm like I've gotten weird comments before, even on like my personal page. I was like,
Yeah,
I
that
have,
was
like
so
100
weird.
followers.
I remember
These
once
guys
I
like rated
yeah.
me in my comments.
Yeah, they were like,
And they were like tagging each other. Which
like their friend, like what?
I don't understand. And I was like, one, I can see you.
Yeah.
Very strange. And two, I was like, why would I care about their opinion? I don't know them. I don't respect
Exactly.
them for behaving like
I actually
this,
I
so it
saw
doesn't matter.
I think I saw
Exactly.
Tom Holland say this is he said that like if you don't have my number, you don't have a
He said, if you have a problem with me, call me.
and if you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with
Love
me.
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I
But
was like,
for real
period.
though.
Yeah.
For real though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
it's also
so true.
yeah, and it's also like on the internet, if you really have a problem with what I'm saying, just scroll. Like
I say that all the time.
No one is holding you
Why
hostage.
any of the
type
internet,
post.
if any of the internet snakes are listening or watching, like
This
just
episode-
scroll.
It's gonna be the most hated
Oh
comment.
my God.
Move on. Like if you hate me, move on. It's got about a million other podcasts to listen to.
I always say this like, listen, we all have opinions. That's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay to have opinions.
Keep them
But
to
why
yourself.
why can't you just but even express them to your friends or your family? Why do you have
yes.
to comment?
Exactly.
And
I
post
express
it.
my opinions with my friends and family, but
Yeah.
not like publicly.
Even like
Yeah.
the Met Gala was yesterday. We had opinions, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna comment them online.
no.
Personally, that's just not my
No.
choice. But yeah.
And it's your character.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yes.
have a character issue in this country.
Seriously do. What's your advice for haters?
Literally,
Haters.
I honestly don't even know if I have good advice for haters because I think they're so pathetic. Honestly, I think it's so.
Maybe
that's
that's
a
a good
good
advice.
attitude.
They
Yeah.
don't
But-
have the backbone to do anything.
I know, and I'm like,
We're the haters of haters.
yeah, I'm like, oops, sorry. I'm like, you guys are so weird. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's weird behavior.
It is. It is very odd
So
behavior.
I think that honestly, I'm a fan of the block button. I will block you
Yes,
and move on.
100%.
Yeah, I agree
And
with that.
people be committed to misunderstanding you too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
So-
also
It's true.
That's a good one.
I think this is the right number, but I'm not 100% sure. 80% of the population is
Wow,
not
not a
self-aware.
I've never heard that before, but I believe it.
We're gonna Google it later. But I was like, don't quote me on that. Something like that. Yeah.
Oh my
Actually, we
God.
should make sure it's right because we reference that quote a lot. I tell everyone that stat.
All this time it's been wrong.
Yeah, this whole time.
But
like,
it's a new stat. We just
Yeah,
decided.
They're
but
not
more,
self-aware.
okay. But it's at least over 50% aren't self-aware.
No, I
Like,
think
you know,
I think
it's
I
80.
think you're
I think
right.
it's 80.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
my god!
yeah, so
How did
they-
we measure that?
I don't
Should we
know.
fact check?
I feel like we've already talked about this, but has your definition of success changed throughout your 20s? And like, what is it now?
I think that my definition of success is literally just trying the best at the stage that I'm at, like, and really just doing it all and doing it big kind of thing. So I don't think my definition of success has changed that much, but I think at the end of the day, if I have a project that I love that I'm curating and friends and family that love and accept me and adore and I adore kind of thing, I think I'm successful.
Yeah.
Like I try not to make it about too much of things I can't control. Maybe that's where it's changed. Maybe
Yeah.
in the past it used to be things that weren't in my control as much, but now I think success is really rooted on my personal relationships and also you know, just doing the things I love and trying my best kind of thing. Because, maybe that was the thing. Because I used to be like, you know what, I have to do this, this, and this. But now I'm like, if I tried my best and if I didn't get it, it's okay.
Yeah.
But at least I know I tried my best.
Yeah.
Really, maybe that really
That
is the
is
theme
so
of my
healthy.
20s.
That's such a healthy motto.
I encourage people to think that way because I do think like I'm still in my early 20s, but even like from teenager to now, I feel like I've shifted into more of that mindset and I'm just a happier person because of it. Because I'm less focused on like, because at the end of the day, I'm a big believer too in like the journey is life. Like it's like if you reach a goal, it's like, okay, you've reached this goal. You're going to be happy for like 5 seconds and then you're going to be on to your next goal.
Exactly.
So it's like if you're constantly like if you don't let yourself be happy in the in-between moments, like that's your life. Your life
you have to
is
enjoy the journey.
Yeah, your life is happening right now.
Yeah.
And I think that constantly looking for the next achievement, the next this, the next that, like you can never be satisfied in the moment, like where you are right now.
Yeah.
So I just, you know, make time for my friends and try my best right now. You know, try my best. Like, what we got going on? Like, you know?
Yeah.
I love that. So I went to an energy. My mom took me to an energy healer when I was 10, and the energy healer said, "Madison needs to work on this one thing." And the thing was this affirmation that was, "I always do my best. My best is good enough." And it makes me think about what you talk about because it feels like to you are like, "I'm trying my best. My best is good enough."
Yeah.
And that's something I've struggled with. A
Yeah.
lot. And like
you've
even at
read
10,
about your perfectionist type. We've talked about this on the podcast too. But
like I never felt like my best was good enough ever. And it caused me so much misery. And I feel like your approach and how you're approaching what you're doing brings so much peace and enjoyment, which is the whole point, like enjoying the process. So I really appreciate you sharing that because I think a lot of 20-somethings either feel like, you know, they're working really hard, but they don't feel like it's ever enough. Or they're like, why should I try? Because it's never going to be good enough anyway.
Yeah. Honestly, are you type A?
I don't know if I
think
am.
you are.
I'm
She's
Or like an A minus?
I think
I'm those ones where they say they're
I'm
type
biased.
B. You know what it's like? They're like, no, what would you call it? It's like type A and B. I'm like, I need to be on time. I need to do all these things. But I'm also like,
we're all
enjoying the
mix.
journey.
yeah, I'm also
You
like,
guys
life
bounce off
isn't-
each other.
We
Yeah,
definitely do.
We balance each
yeah,
other.
like she's super intense and Al and I are very like laissez-faire, like whatever.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be fine. I'm like, I believe everything's gonna be okay.
But it's also makes us your energy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's
Are
your
you
best
type A?
Depends on who we're
I'm
around.
like, you seem like a very
That's what I'm saying too.
calm
For
type
me,
A.
like I'm type A when it comes to like being on time. Whereas
Yeah.
Maddie's
Like
like
traveling.
she will flounder, and I'm like, girl, we need to get somewhere. But then with other things, like she's the one that's
With
like,
work,
yeah.
she's like,
yeah.
No, honestly, I get both. And honestly,
Yeah.
when you say that, I'm very much so in the flow. Honestly, I just, like I was saying, I don't like try to grip my life by the horns too much.
See, that's what I do
literally-
too.
you have a
much. I'm
white
like-
knuckled grip on your life. And I'm like, Maddie, let it go.
let it go. It's fine.
Oh my gosh, no.
I also just think like I have this thing anytime in my life that I've tried to force something, it always ends up being the wrong thing.
yeah.
Like I'm like things should have like yes, try for things and do new things and try new things that don't always feel like they can feel scary, but they have to feel right. Like a lot of times I'll like try and force something just because I think that that's the right thing.
yeah.
And I'm like if you have that grip on it, it's like
I
not
know.
always
We're
the
looking
right
at
thing.
you, girl. Yeah.
Yeah. I find that personally from my life too. It's like I should never have to force things to stay.
Yes.
Or like opportunities when they flow into my life. I know it's for me. Okay. I'm very like, like, I am very practical, but at the very same time, I'm very not practical. I go
Yeah.
based off my intuition and my
That's
gut feelings.
good.
I'm the same.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
think Sarah Blakely was saying that she was the same, and she
Yeah.
worked out well for
Yeah.
her. So I'm gonna go.
She's
Oh,
doing
okay.
like Sarah
Fine.
Blakely. Okay.
Exactly. But it's like I think some of my worst experiences in my 20s have specifically been when I tried to hold on to things that I knew weren't mine, or I tried to force things that didn't fit. So it's like putting
Yeah.
a star block in a circle hole. Like
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
gonna fit, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I literally have the most go with the flow mindset
Yeah.
around it, but with structure.
Yes.
In that sense. But
I
Like
feel
you're
the
trying,
same
you're
way.
working and trying. Like you're
I
not just
feel
like
the same
whatever.
way 'cause I'm a very realistic person, but I'm also extremely optimistic. So I'm not like the
Yeah.
realism where I'm like, oh, everything sucks. I'm like realism where I'm like, okay, I have to work to get somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't just like flounder and think
Yeah,
things are just going
exactly.
to come to me.
Yeah.
exactly.
But like I do believe the right things will come to me, but I'm going to work while I'm doing that.
It's
or
like
while I'm
the-
thinking that way.
It's like the Zen hustler.
yeah.
A coined term.
Zen
Jahleane, the
hustler.
Zen
hustler. Oh my god.
That's what she is. That's
That's
Jahleane.
like I'm like at home and not a Zen moment, calling my mom, be like, please.
Oh my goodness.
No one calls their mom in a Zen moment.
I know.
If you're calling your
No.
mom, it's because you need help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but no, I totally agree with you. That's okay.
Yeah.
The last question I have is, what were like the shit? No, I should not. I should have to stop saying that.
No, it's okay.
Shit
You said it.
Okay,
5
no,
million
rock
times.
bottom. That's what I was saying.
There you go.
Have you had any rock bottom moments in your 20s? And if you did, like, how did you navigate them? What helped you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the one that comes to mind is I remember my first job out of college. Like I had, so basically my last quarter of college, I tore my ACL. I was a cheerleader in school.
Ooh.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
And so I had to move back home with my parents, and they were living in the South at this time. And the job that I had was an internship that transferred me over to a full-time job that was in the South. And it was just really hard. And I was like, at one point, it was like a really stressful day. And I'm like, okay, I'm living in the South. I'm a California girl. Like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm living in the South. I'm in this job I don't like. I feel so disconnected from self. Like, what am I doing? And so that felt like a rock bottom in the sense of this is misaligned. And then I quit. And then I moved. I found a new job and then I moved. So it's like, I think recognizing those moments and recognizing the discomfort are really important. Thankfully, I had the options and this like support of my parents to be able to make that decision, because a lot of people don't have those options. And I was just honest, like, where do I want to live? California would be comfortable. New York would be an adventure. Like, let's try New York out. And so
Now she's a Brooklyn girl.
Brooklyn girl. It's been 4 years now.
Wow. I have one more question. And this one's kind of random, but the job market is crazy these days.
Yeah.
What's your advice for people wanting to get a job? Like, how did you get them? Was it through online? Was it through people you knew? Like, what did that look like for you?
Yeah. So when I landed my job in 2020, it was like a really crazy job market too, because pandemic, you know. I actually optimized my LinkedIn profile.
Nice.
I actually like basically I found all these people on TikTok were saying like, you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile so opportunities come to you, and I did, and it led to like a bunch of different companies started reaching out to me, like Instacart, Uber.
Amazing.
And that's how I got my first sales job. And then I got to move to New York. I actually have like a download. It's like a free downloadable for anyone who wants to have like 600 rated hacks.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I will give you guys the link.
Yeah,
so
we
maybe
will
you
link
can
that
check it
in
out.
the show notes.
Yeah.
We will link that in the show notes.
So yeah, this like I love LinkedIn, obviously. But this it just like has underrated hacks for your LinkedIn profile, because there are little things that you can do just to make sure that more people are seeing your profile. I also would say just like build your personal brand, get out there, because sometimes like there are so many, it's not always about what you know or like who you know, it's about who knows you kind of thing. And so sometimes it's like, oh, I've seen this girl on LinkedIn, I think she'd be great for this opportunity, let me reach out and have a meeting. So it's like sometimes I've gotten speaking engagements or just opportunities and partnerships and made internet friends just from posting online. And so yeah, like just literally put yourself out there. And I think that, okay, this is my sales mind coming into it too. So it's like you have to have an inbound and outbound approach to this. So it's like inbound in the sense that, okay, my profile is optimized and I'm putting myself out there. Opportunities can come to me because I built like this like business or like the system for opportunities to come to me. And then outbound in the sense that I'm applying for jobs and I'm reaching out to people in this sense. So it's like two-pronged.
That's amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So smart.
I love that.
It's almost like this is
love
what
it.
you do.
This is the right girl to ask.
Hit me up.
Seriously.
Postgrad Playbook.
No, seriously. Everyone check out the Postgrad Playbook. We love it. I know everyone here listening will love it because that's what everyone's here for. We need
Let's
this.
be honest.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been such a fun conversation.
It's been lovely.
amazing.
I could
Thank
keep
you.
chatting.
We're going to
forever.
link everything in the show notes.
Yes. And thank you everyone
find
for
her.
listening. And go check out Jahleane.
Yes, thank you so
We're
much.
here in New York City. Thank you, Jahleane.
Bye.
We stayed in the beautiful Westgate, New York Grand Central for the duration of our stay, and it was really fun.
The Westgate treated us to a cozy room and a beautiful boardroom to film in, and the location was just spectacular.
If you're headed to New York and want a place that brings both comfort and charm, hit the link in our show notes and treat yourself to a stay at Westgate, New York Grand Central.